Welcome back, everybody. I know what you're thinking, I think. I've gotten bigger, and that would be right. I had a few message me about that Wednesday when I was out here, because usually I'm sitting down, and you can't see baby boy, but he's growing. He's 28 weeks. He's doing great. We're out on the grill, though, because one of my favorite things to do in the late spring and summer is be in the backyard. When you're cooking in good weather, it's just so much fun. So today we're going to make balsamic marinated pork chops, and this is what they look like. They're super easy. So I'm going to get those turned over. I'm going to put the lid down, let them cook a little longer. I like it when they kind of get that crisp caramelized edge. That's probably my favorite on grilled food. But I want to come over here and show you how to make that marinade. It's pretty simple stuff. We did a marinade together last time. So this is one that I use. You could use it for chicken, pork, whatever it is. Even steak would be delicious, whatever you have on hand. So what you're going to do is take a zip top bag. I just put it over whatever bottle is closest to me, and then some olive oil. So these are going to be just splashes. We'll have the full list of ingredients and recipes for you on the website after the show. And now with that olive oil, you want some balsamic vinegar. Now this balsamic vinegar, look at how dark. If you haven't used it before, it's rich, it's dark, it's a deep flavor. I always use extra splashes. Little bit of interesting, I love food science. Balsamic vinegar only comes, the real stuff only comes from Modena, Italy, because it comes from a certain kind of grape called a Trebbiano grape that's aged in like cherry wood musk caskets, and it only comes from Italy. So if you get some at the store, make sure it says balsamic vinegar of Modena. It's amazing stuff. You're going to love it. So then a couple teaspoons of salt we'll put in there. I like a little bit of honey in my marinades, just a little bit of a natural sweetener. And then some oregano. That's great to do in kind of a Mediterranean marinade. Now I'm going to shake that up a little bit, grab my tongs, bring them back here, and put either pork chops, chicken, steak, whatever it is you have on hand, down into that marinade. And you're going to let that hang out. A few hours is ideal, but hey, I've done this with like 30 minutes to go on the grill, and it's good stuff. So we're going to let that hang out over here while we make a Mediterranean salsa. So I love to do pantry salsa during this time using the stuff we have on hand. So petite diced tomatoes, fire roasted tomatoes would be great. Cannellini beans that are drained and rinsed. Those are like an Italian delicious creamy bean. Garbanzo beans, you know what would be good to that too? Some red onion. I happen to love feta, so you guys, we're going to use a lot of it. And then torn spinach. So I'm going to speed up this process and do a quick tear, even though I do it a little more gentle, if you weren't with me. And then we toss this together. And now, keep tossing. I love that it's bright and colorful. You know what? You could add some green or black olives to this. You could add artichoke hearts. If you like those Mediterranean flavors, put some Italian dressing in there. I happen to love this stuff, balsamic glaze. It's just balsamic vinegar that has been heated so it reduces down, and it's naturally sweet. It's absolutely delicious. Let that just kind of hang out. So we did this meal last week for my family, and I made this up, and we all, again, we just fell in love with it. It was so good, so delicious, and so I wanted to share it with you. And let's go ahead and pull these pork chops off the grill. And I want to show you how this looks. If you want to use a meat thermometer with your pork chops, that's great. Usually they're done when they come to about 145. Okay, so we got that. Now follow me back over here. We're going to take some of this Mediterranean salsa, put it over the top. And that way you get some of that delicious salsa. It's got a little bit of sweet from the balsamic, a little bit of a tangy bite from the feta, the onion. It's so good. It's so filling. You know what? This is healthy too. This is like plants, proteins, low carb stuff. Great to kick off a summer. Now, got to show you guys one more thing. We are trying to grow tomatoes back here. It's going to be a while, but I've got some basil. So if you want, if you're growing some herbs at home, just rip off a couple of leaves of this basil. My kids are going to kill me because this is their plant. So don't tell them that I stole any, but basil smells amazing. It's going to go great in this salsa or right on these pork chops. So Mike, there you go. There's a couple tips for you when you're getting ready to, I don't know if this is the weekend to cook out or maybe next week, depending on the weather, but it doesn't get better than that. when you're out at the grill.
Man, that looks outstanding. Tough not having you here in studio.
I miss you guys, I gotta say it.
I don't get any of the benefits of that.
That's right. You will soon, I hear.
I wrote it all down. Good. All right, Nessa, we'll see you in a little bit here. Next on All Indiana, Gary Dick from Inside Indiana Business joins me with some of the week's top stories, including the new problems being created by the shutdowns of Indiana's pork processing plants.
You're watching Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network.